Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gunfire erupts on the campus of the University of New Mexico, where just earlier that night, UNM's most fierce in-state rival, New Mexico State University, pulls into town on their chartered bus. There's supposed to be a standing room only 15,000 fans sold out packed stadium at New Mexico's iconic gymnasium, the Pit, for this intense rivalry game. Seeing as how when these two teams met on the college football field last month, one of New Mexico State's basketball players, Mike Peake, was involved in a brawl over the football game and things escalated to a fever pitch, but no one could see coming what was about to happen. According to police, Mike Peake, that same New Mexico State basketball player, was lured out of his hotel room under the premise that he was going to hook up with a 17-year-old girl he had met on Tinder. However, when Peake arrived to the girl's dorm, he was met by 3 men outside, one of the men being 19-year-old Brandon Travis. Video shows Peake being attacked by a man with a baseball bat, and as he ran away, a shooting ensued with the assailants. Peake was shot in the leg and sustained injuries that have required multiple surgeries. In the crossfire, however, he shot and killed UNM student Brandon Travis. But here's where things start to go left. After being shot in the leg and killing Travis, Mike Peake then is seen on surveillance with 3 fellow Aggie basketball players, Issa Muhammad, Marcellus Avery, and Anthony Roy, where he then places 3 items into a yellow Camaro before he leaves the scene. Those 3 items: an iPad, Peake's cell phone, and the murder weapon, a black pistol. The next morning, with Peake in surgery at the hospital, police arrive to the team's hotel and speak with head coach Greg Eyre and assistant coach Dominique Taylor. Both coaches deny knowing they know anything, but you tell me if you believe the coaches know more than they are saying as you listen and watch them speak to an investigating police officer.
And then this is completely voluntary.
I mean,
you don't have to. I just want to let you know that, just so.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on, or?
So, yeah,
I don't really know anything.
Let me just disconnect this thing so it's not going on. It's an ongoing investigation.
Okay.
So I'm limited on the details that I can and cannot share with you.
Okay.
Right now. So we had some stuff. I don't know what you've heard so far.
I just heard from what the AD from New Mexico has told our AD from video camera.
Okay, AD.
Athletic director.
Athletic director.
Athletic director to athletic, because we're talking about maybe not playing the game tonight because of.
Okay, so some of the information that we know preliminary is Michael Lavelle. He's one of your players?
Michael Peake.
Michael Peake?
Peake.
Peake?
Yeah. Well, that's how I know him as. I don't know if.
Let's see if they sent the. Do you know Michael? So Peake is the last name?
That's the player I've been coaching, but it's him.
You know it's him.
I know it's him.
Okay, let me have these guys send.
Coach Taylor would know more because he was with them last year. He knows his family. This is my first year as a head coach. I inherited him as a player, but Dom was on staff last year, so he would know if maybe that's. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just like you said. I'm just being honest.
All right. Well, I mean, we're pretty sure this is all the same. We're talking about the same guy here.
Yes.
So basically, he had a Tinder date, right? That over here at UNM, and there was 3 guys who came up, and there was an incident that took place at that point in which firearms were brandished, bats. Michael also brandished a weapon. Shots were exchanged. So now we have Michael, who was struck by gunfire at the hospital, and we have a UNM student who was deceased. So what we know based on the camera footage too is Michael, before being transported to the hospital, walks up to a yellow Camaro and meets with some friends, it looks like, and he places some items in the trunk. He does not have his phone on him, which is strange, right? Because we all know, like, no matter who you are, like young, these kids, so we always have to have our phones on us. So that's strange, that he doesn't have his phone, the weapon. So we believe those are in the yellow Camaro. Do you know anybody, any of his friends, any other players? Did all the players come on the bus?
Yeah, the whole team came on the bus.
Okay, so none of them drove. So he possibly has some other friends who maybe drove up from Cruces or that he had.
Yeah, maybe. This is all new to me.
You don't know? Okay. So that's kind of the down and dirty of what I can share at this point, without going into too much detail. So
well, I haven't even, obviously my team, I haven't seen them yet. They haven't. So I don't even think they know.
None of the team members? You don't?
I haven't seen any of them yet.
Oh, you haven't seen any?
No, we're about to meet at 10:30. So I just want to know what was going on. I'm just shaking. I'm just sick to my stomach. This is so terrible and disappointing. It was a TINDER date? What the fuck is he having a TINDER date? That's
information that we have. I'm sorry, too.
But you sure it wasn't a women's basketball player?
Not that we know of.
Not that you know of.
Not that we know of. And we don't know who she is either. So we're trying to locate her as well.
Where did this happen at?
It's over on campus. I actually haven't been to the scene itself. When I showed up, we just,
Yeah.
So I can't tell you exactly, but it's over by some of the dorms. Our biggest thing is we don't know if this was some kind of like rivalry or setup, or we don't know what it is, right?
Yes.
At this point. And being,
was he in self-defense?
I can't speak on any of that. But we don't want anything further to happen, right?
Yeah, no. That's why Coach Patino and I just talked, and we're about these student athletes, and I'm worried about my wife and daughter. Just being at the game and a student is shot. People say New Mexico State basketball player shot a student. That's not going to go over well in front of 15,000 people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is about the safety of everybody, and that's where I'm at. If this Mike's going to have a long road ahead of him, no matter what.
Right.
But he may never play basketball second again for me ever again. That's just the reality. Mm-hmm. So I need to protect the rest of my team and the rest of our people while you guys are in this investigation, and while we're, there's a reason why the hospital doesn't let us go over there and call them, because there's an ongoing investigation and they don't want us to speak to them, and we don't have the.
So I can tell you that his injuries are not what we've been told are not life-threatening, and so it looks like he'll be okay. But yeah, you guys can't talk to him yet because we need to speak to him first. Yeah. And get everything, try to get everything.
How do I get him an attorney? Because his mom, because we can't get in touch with it. He don't really have a family, so he's kind of on his own. When the detectives talk to him,
they haven't spoken to him yet, but when they do talk to him, they'll advise him, I'm sure, of his rights. And at that point, it would be his decision if he wants to get an attorney first, or if he wants to just go ahead and provide a statement. So yeah, that's our biggest concern is the safety of everybody else right now. We don't want anything to escalate. We don't want no retaliation. We don't want nobody else to get hurt.
I don't want
shot,
that either.
Killed, nothing. And that Camaro seems to be a very big piece of this.
Okay.
Because we believe that Michael's weapon that he used is in the trunk of that car, and possibly his phone too, which with his phone, obviously, you know, we could track
the
who
TINDER,
did you talk to, who, you know, who did he call right before the Camaro showed up,
Yes.
you know. So that's going to give us a lot of information. If there's any way, I don't know, when you talk to players, you know,
If I can try to get some information from them.
try to get.
Do you have a card where I could,
Yeah.
or does Dominic have your, does he have your number?
I left a voicemail on his phone.
Okay.
he
So
does-
I'll try to get as much information as I can get for you.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
'cause
all
we
about
wanna-
making sure this, like, for everybody,
Yeah.
that this is, everybody does the right way, I guess. If anyone knows anything,
So you're not real familiar with this, with Michael then?
no,
Is
I'm
what-
not.
is what I
He's
gather.
more familiar with him.
Okay.
So, I mean, this was I've only been on the job for 7 months,
Mm-hmm.
and I inherited him.
Okay. And so how long has he been on the team? Just from when
2
you
years.
Oh, he's been on it.
He
2
was on
years.
the team last year.
Okay. Let me get some of your information.
My name's Greg, Greg. HEIAR. All right, do you want just my cell?
Can I get your date of birth?
Yeah. 1975.
And then a phone number? And you're head coach, you said,
Yeah, I'm
right?
the head coach.
Yeah, so my work cell phone
Okay.
is on there. The 388 bottom
Perfect.
right.
Okay.
My email, my name.
Sounds
got
good.
Your stuff.
And that once if I hear anything, I'll call you right away.
Yeah, and then if we need to speak to you again,
Yeah.
for whatever reason,
Yeah.
we can give you a call here.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, Coach,
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Oh.
I had probably about 5 missed calls from Muhammad.
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had probably about 11 missed calls from Anthony Roy.
Mike's friends, or even Muhammad, Roy, who drives a yellow Camaro?
None of. Like, these are college kids. They don't make money like that to afford a car like that. And we're all up here on a bus. So everybody was in the same group.
Find out. Please, please, please. Pass it along so we can nip this in the butt right away.
For sure.
Before anything else happens.
Knowing what you know now based off of what you just heard from both coaches, would you believe me if I then told you, number 1, Coach Taylor had the murder weapon in his hotel room wrapped in a towel the whole time during this interview? Number 2, another assistant coach was later found with Peake's bloody iPad on the team's bus? And 3, would you believe that Peake's cell phone at the same time of this interview is already back in Las Cruces with the New Mexico State University athletic director at his home? Then, before the 3 student athletes who were seen in the Camaro could be located and interviewed by police, the Aggie coaching staff and team loaded up the bus and immediately hightailed it back to the New Mexico State University campus. Police noticed something was fishy when they tried to get back in contact with both coaches and neither of them answered their phone. So officers then had to jump on the highway and catch up with the charter bus as it sped off down I-25. Once the bus pulled over, a coach, Lorenzo Jenkins, gets off the bus and has this encounter with officers.
Alright, so the tablet, you got that? Damn.
Nah, we canceled the game. That's it right there in blue.
That one's it? Alright. So his phone, do you know anything about his phone?
I have no clue what's going on with the phone.
Then, in another very odd turn in the case, Jenkins refuses to let the players in question off the bus and tells officers they won't be speaking to anyone without an attorney. With no interviews being able to take place and Peake still recovering from surgery, police have no choice but to allow the team to leave. But as police are speaking to Jenkins on the side of the highway, they then learn that the handgun used in the murder is back at the hotel where the team just left. So units respond there and recover the weapon wrapped in a towel from Coach Taylor's room. But it is not until hours later back in Las Cruces, when the athletic director himself comes in contact with police, that he then turns Peake's phone over to the cops from his home in Las Cruces. Now, do you think the coaches and athletic department at New Mexico State hindered and obstructed the police investigation? Or in a panic, do you think the team was just doing what they felt was right in order to protect their players? Only time will tell. But as of this recording, police have said they are going to investigate the coaches for obstructing an investigation, but still no formal charges have been placed on Michael Peake for the shooting of Brandon Travis, although he has been suspended from the team indefinitely. The underage female and one other man involved in the beating of Peake before the gunfire erupted have been arrested and are being charged with assault. This whole story is very convoluted, with half-truths and whole lies, but the proof is in the details, and I believe Peake acted in self-defense, so his name will be cleared. But the coaching staff might be in some hot water for how they handled this situation. We will have to wait and see, but until then, stay tuned and subscribe so you never miss an update on this developing story. And as always, thanks for watching Curdy Flow Live.